3 minutes late, and I'm so sorry. The lighting is terrible, but it's fine. Everything's great, and everything's fine. Also, I can't see my whole screen because of the little light that I'm using. Let me make this more baby. I'm so impressed that we're even on here today. Let me just tell you, my flight got delayed because I was flying Spirit, so that feels more, not Spirit, I was flying Frontier. So that feels more like my fault than theirs. So my flight got delayed, and then there was like really, really bad traffic to get to my parents' house. So I'm at my parents' house, and I got here like maybe 15 or 20 minutes ago. So I'm really glad. I almost didn't make my slides, and I was like, oh, I'll have a couple hours at their house. Nope. So glad I made them. But we're here. We're going to learn about Thanksgiving today, but we're going to learn about Thanksgiving in like a realistic way, not in like a weird elementary school glorifying terrible history way. But yeah, also I don't have my glasses on because when I do them, the lighting is literally so bad. Like you can see my screen and you can see the light, and I don't like that. So I just want it to be my face. Oh, I have contacts. Is that gross? If I put my contacts in with you guys right here, is that like fucked up? If someone could let me know if that's fucked up. Miss Redacted. Hi, Lena. It's okay. I miss you. I miss you so much. It's okay that you've been skipping class. We were worried about you. We were talking about you a couple weeks ago. We were like, where's Miss Girl? Also, can you hear me okay? Is my mic and all that shit plugged in right? Can you hear me okay? We want you to see. Because I just don't want to wear my glasses, so I'm going to put my contacts in. But this is a safe space. We're creating a safe space in the studio right now because I hate putting contacts in. It takes a lot of tries, and I'm really bad at it. So we're going to put my contacts in. First time watching. Hi, Leah, and Lena. Let me see. Where were you, Lena? I saw your message. I miss y'all too. I've been in college, which is why I just have Monday and Wednesday classes. Very, very understandable that you've been at college. Congratulations on the college. Love learning the truth about America. You do, you boo. Love all the first timers here. Last week, Vietnam War Part 2. That was an amazing stream. There were so many people here, and I felt like so on fire the whole time. Thankful for the notification reminder. Yes, I realized a lot of people didn't know that. This is very difficult without a mirror. How did that just work? I've never gotten my contact to go into my eyeball that fast. Maybe the key is that I don't use a mirror. Maybe that's the key to success. I'm a teacher but got off early today. You had to work today? Oh, I'm so sorry that you had to work today. First time watching, so sad I couldn't see the Vietnam War stream live. It's on YouTube. Being here live is a special kind of magic, though. That's why I always say it's like the TikTok to YouTube to Twitch pipeline, because being here live is just different. That one didn't work. This one's going to take a while. It's always this side that takes me a while. I had to teach today, too. That's terrible. I'm getting ready for Blackout Wednesday. I have never participated in that. I don't know if that just went in my eye. It did. That was so painless. Maybe this is the key. That was the fastest I've ever put my contacts in. Thank you, everyone, for encouraging me to do that. That was a much better decision. I feel much better about the situation now. I'm also using my mom's baby ring light. Look at it. It, like, clips onto your computer. And I'm using her camera. But her camera is the same as my camera because I stole my camera from her. And I'm using her camera. And then I brought my mic. I took my microphone on a Frontier Airlines flight to be able to stream, because I was going to skip streaming this week, and then I was like, but I love it. Like, I literally don't want to skip it, so I want to come, and I want to create this, so I need to figure my shit out. We're going to the local Applebee's. Love that for you. I have to go to 3 Thanksgiving dinners, send thoughts and prayers. You have to go to 3 Thanksgiving dinners? That's like a hate crime that you have to go to 3 Thanksgiving dinners. My sister is hosting Thanksgiving dinner, and it's really going to be chill and not many people. I love when my sister hosts stuff because she hates having people in her house. So I know that it's going to end early and it's not going to be crowded because she hates that. And she's hosting Thanksgiving. Let me post on my story that we're here, that we're live, that we're here. Okay. Sorry. Life hack, move abroad to avoid seeing your racist, homophobic family. That is a very effective life hack. Okay. Let me focus and make my brain work, and then we'll get started. Do-do-do. We are on stream talking about Thanksgiving. Okay, let's get into it. Hello, class. Life is but a dream, my illiterate ass. Thank you for not skipping this week. This is such the mental break I needed. No, I know. I thought about it and I was like, everyone is going to be like with their families, like deeply suffering. And I just like need to do this so that they can be like, oh, I'm sorry. I have to go to class. Like I do this class. It's like for my own development and it's every week. She's really strict. So she didn't take this week off. And you can tell them, like, normally the class, it's at 7:30 at night, but we moved it to 5 for the holiday because I'm going out to dinner with my family and I want to get drunk, so can't really stream. Sydney Moorjohn has been a subscriber with Prime for 7 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love a Prime subscription. We love it. My dad is late picking me up from the airport, so I get to catch the beginning part of the stream. My parents were early picking me up from the airport because their flight was also late. Or my flight, not their flight. They didn't fly anywhere. Page 6277, thank you for subscribing. Okay, so let's talk about Thanksgiving. So we are here avoiding our families. We're going to talk about the real history of Thanksgiving, and then we're going to talk about like the capitalistic marketing vibes of Thanksgiving and like kind of what we think of Thanksgiving today. Meal Mouse 97, Mr. Redacted is the real one looking out for us. No, because I was like, people hate their fucking families. People... Did you hear that? I just like on the table because I'm using like a table, not a desk, so it's like closer to me than I'm used to. But anyway, I was like, people fucking hate their families. People are going to want to escape and it's going to be great. Like we just need to be here. I'm here avoiding cooking. I'm in charge of mac and cheese. I volunteered for it and I really regret it because, okay, this is the problem with my family. They don't think mac and cheese is like a Thanksgiving food. So they're like, oh, we don't have mac and cheese. And I'm like, why? Why? Like growing up, we never had mac and cheese at Thanksgiving. And then I found out other families, that's like a traditional Thanksgiving food is mac and cheese. And I was like, why have we been ignoring this? Like, why have we been ignoring this? And my parents were like, we just don't do that. So now I'm in charge of it because no one else cares. But every time, someone eats it. If you're going to do Thanksgiving, you have to at least make mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is the family specialty, right? I volunteer to work Thanksgiving shifts so I don't have to do the family thing. They are wrong, respectfully. They're wrong, disrespectfully. Downloaded Twitch to listen on my commute home. Oh my god, thanks. My stepdad tried to poison the family with instant potatoes. Absolutely not. I'll be bringing a bag of potatoes to dinner. Just the potatoes, not cooked, just the potatoes. But anyway, we're also going to talk about like marketing and all of that fun stuff. So originally I was like, oh, this is going to be a mini stream because it's a holiday. I'm just going to go on for like 30 minutes and whatever. And then when I made this, it was a 54 slide deck, but now it's 56 because after I made this slide, I came up with some other ideas. So, yeah, it's not going to be a mini stream. It's going to be a full stream. Full. Okay. Let us continue. Can't wait to disassociate at dinner. So the event that we call the first Thanksgiving is basically a celebration that the Pilgrims. The word pilgrim, I don't even know where that came from. Let me look it up. Because it's like pilgrims, colonizers. What do you want to call them? What do you want to call them? What does pilgrim mean? A person who journeys to a sacred place for religious reasons. So I would not qualify the United States of America as a sacred place, but you know, that's what the people of the times called themselves. So whatever. Heavy on the disassociate. I have to go to my in-laws. Praying. Me and my boyfriend are at my parents' house. We're going to his family for Christmas, though. The Puritans. They were here. They wanted to, like, do Christianity here. Whatever. They're celebrating their first harvest in the United States, the New World, in October of 1621. I wish I could stay and watch this instead of going to a family dinner. Praying for you. Big upvote on colonizer. Pilgrim is a lie. Yeah, I use both terms in the slides because I don't know. I think in the whole, like, what's the correct term? I think it's best to just talk about all the terms and where they came from because, like, there's no point in fighting over it because people were fighting over it then. They're fighting over it now. So, like, yeah, the people don't call themselves colonizers. Are we fucking surprised at that? And, like, pilgrims, I think it's important to know that word and know what it means to be able to understand, like, the context of which people viewed themselves in that current time in history. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it is short for pilgrimage. But yeah, so that's why I think it's better to just like look at all the terms and why people use them and whatever. Me making this slide deck knowing I'm about to read about the deaths of innocent people. That's me making every slide deck. Also, I have not brushed my hair in like 5 days and it's really fucking tangled. The US is no Mecca though. They thought it was. They were like, we're going here to spread the God's word. And like, no one gave a fuck. So it didn't play out, I guess. Like, depends. I don't know what they wanted, but you get what I'm saying. They were religious coming over here. They wanted to spread God's word to the land and take over the land and all of that. So that's what I mean. Like, to us, it's not Mecca, but like from their perspective, they're like, this new land where we need to spread the words of our Lord and Savior is kind of their vibe. So before I go through like what really happened, I kind of want to go through like the mainstream history of it. This is just from history.com, which is actually one of my favorite sources that I use for almost everything on here. But anyway, in 1621, the Plymouth colonist and I looked up how to pronounce this before and I forgot. Let me look it up again. I don't want to mispronounce it and it's like hard and I feel like I'm going to butcher it. Wampanoag. The Wampanoag shared an autumn harvest feast that is acknowledged today as one of the first Thanksgiving celebrations in the colonies. For more than 2 centuries, Thanksgiving has been celebrated by individual colonies and states. And then in 1863, during the Civil War, President Lincoln was like, this is a national holiday and it should be held every single year. Wampanoag, thank you. So, in September 19, you can tell I'm used to doing modern American history. In September 1620, a small ship called the Mayflower left Plymouth, England, carrying 102 passengers, which was an assortment of religious separatists seeking a new home where they could freely practice their faith. Because they were, like, mad religious and, like, Puritans. Like, they were like, this is the fucking word, we're in our outfits, we want to be strict. And then people in England were like, that's not how we fucking do shit here, so they hated them, so that's why they came here, basically. I'm not an expert on this time period. Like, just as a disclaimer, this is not a time period I'm passionate about, so if I misspeak, I'm very sorry. But anyway, they were lured by the promise of the new world, and after a treacherous and uncomfortable crossing that lasted 66 days. Imagine 66 days on a fucking boat. You would go crazy. I would go crazy. You don't even have a vape pen or nothing. It lasted 66 days. They dropped anchor near Cape Cod, far north of their intended destination, which was at the mouth of the Hudson River. About a month later, the Mayflower crossed Massachusetts Bay, where they are now commonly known where the Pilgrims, as they're referred to now, began the work of establishing a village at Plymouth. So that's like who the fuck these people are and where they came from. 66 days. I panic on a 3-hour flight. I took an hour and 20-minute flight today and literally cried twice. I hate flying so fucking much. The Wampanoag are still around. They make a huge percentage of the population on Martha's Vineyard. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is the ship. Throughout the first brutal winter, most of the colonists remained on board the ship. So imagine being on a boat for 66 days and then being like, I'm good. I think I'm going to stay on the boat. I think even though we're here, I'm comfortable, I am safe, and I like my room / corner. So I think we're just going to stay our asses right here. So they remained on the ship where they suffered from a lot of diseases because I'm begging, please load. Can everyone see me okay? I'm on different Wi-Fi than I usually am. But anyway, what was I saying? They lived on the boat instead of on the damn land. Like, in a way, maybe that's better because then they weren't fucking with the indigenous people because they were just on the boat. But in a much more serious way of, like, what they would be thinking about at that time, because obviously not fucking with the indigenous people, they didn't care about that. But anyway, all the diseases on the boat. Lots of them got diseases and died on the boat because you are not supposed to have humans cramped in quarters like that. But yeah, this is the boat that they were on. Looks very uncomfortable, 0 stars. And this is on the quiz. This is on the game. This is on the game. Only half of the passengers and crew lived to see their first New England spring. So the vibes seem pretty fucking putrid. Like, it seems pretty rough, and it seems like pretty much not good for anyone involved here. They all should have stayed on that ugly-ass boat instead of screwing over the people who already lived here. Exactly. Keep your religious weirdness in Europe. We don't want to deal with any of that bullshit. But surely they didn't have the foresight to think maybe this is better. Me thinking about how the Mayflower probably smelled after all those people staying in the ship for the winter. Like, think about how that boat smelled. I want all of us to take a moment and really just think about that. I want you to think about how it smelled. I want you to think about how it probably looked. I want you to think about how, like, heavy the air was in there. Like, today when I was on the plane, I started to freak out when we were waiting to get off the plane because I was just, like, feeling me breathe in everyone's breath. Like, feeling the heaviness of the air. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not fresh air. You can tell the air is very stale. That's the word I'm looking for, is stale. That made me so much less embarrassed that my dad's family came on the Mayflower. Like, damn, it was the survival of the fittest and we were fit. No showers, depression room times 20. They were probably stinky before they even boarded the boat. I'm sure they were not among the folks who actually bathed at that time. People didn't really bathe back then like that. John Winter probably smelled worse than the boat. I don't know what that means. But anyway, I digress. Let's continue. So in March, the remaining settlers moved ashore where they received, again, this is like the mainstream history or whatever. We're about to get into the Native American history in a second. So in March, the remaining settlers moved ashore where they received a visit from the Abenaki, correct me if I'm wrong, tribe, who greeted them in English. So, like, what we've always been taught about Thanksgiving is that they pulled up and they were like, oh my God, these are the first colonists you've ever seen. Like, let's all hold hands. No, the native people knew what was up. They were like, yeah, we have seen white people before and y'all are not to be fucking trifled with. So we're in here to protect ourselves. But anyway, several days later, this person returned with another Native American named Squanto, who was a member of the Pautuit, I think, tribe, who had been kidnapped by an English sea captain and sold into slavery before he escaped to London and then returned to his homeland. So Squanto speaks English and has been through some shit. Squanto definitely has PTSD. Pawtuxet. Oh, I was very wrong. Pawtuxet. Thank you. So Squanto has been through some shit. Also, I saw this quote one time that I always, you can see I'm literally brushing my hair with this clip. I saw this quote that I always think about, where it's like, you should never make fun of someone for mispronouncing something because it shows that they learned about it from reading, not from talking to someone about it, which I always think about every time I mispronounce something. You brushing your hair right now is very me not wanting to work. It just needed to be done. I haven't brushed it in a couple days. But anyway, Squanto has been through some serious shit. And so naturally, the colonists were like, you fucking speak English? Like, you've been around and you speak English? Like, finally, someone that can fucking help us. Because these people, they just drove here. Like, they had no plan. They didn't know what they were coming into. They don't know how to farm the land. They don't know anything. So when this guy comes up that's like, hey, I know shit, and I know who you are, and I've been to London, and, like, I know what the fuck is up, they kind of were like, You know, like, they immediately looked at these people as, okay, what can we get out of these people? Like, what can these people do to help us, help us build a life? Like, it wasn't about building community and, like, oh, we're in a new place, let's get along with the people, let's learn the culture. It was not that. They were kind of looking at them to exploit them as a resource of knowledge and a resource of food. Listening to this like a podcast while I write a paper for school, like I would a real lecture, I love. But also, is Squanto okay? I'm not sure if Squanto is okay. No plans, just absolutely rancid vibes. Okay, where was I? So then Squanto entered his teaching era, and he started teaching the colonists how to cultivate corn, get sap from trees, catch fish, and avoid poisonous plants. Because all of them were, like, super weak. Because, again, half of them died, so the ones that were left were really weak from malnutrition because they'd been living on a boat with no fresh anything. So they were just eating, like, moldy bread, I guess. I don't really know what kind of food you eat on a boat in the 1600s, but I would guarantee it's probably not good. So they were, like, super malnourished, and they didn't fucking know anything. So he was, like, helping them. So again, it was not corn. I know, corn. So it was not, like, BFF vibes. It was, like, these fucking idiots slash we need you because we are idiots vibes. The amount of hair that just came out of my head that's like sitting on my lap right now. How am I not bald? How am I not bald? Fish. Yes, they're up in the Northeast, so there's rivers and stuff up there. They eat fish. The people up there. I mean, a lot of people eat fish, but you get what I'm saying. It's like food that's native to the area. Hard tack salted fish probs. Probably hard talk like bread you gotta soak, huh? Yeah. I too am a shedder with my... Oh, you meant on the boat they were eating fish. Can you really fish on a moving boat like that, though? I don't know if that works. I guess they're probably... I don't know, because they're sailing, so you wouldn't be moving all the time, because if there's no wind. I don't know. I've been following you since the start of the pandemic when I first got TikTok, and you are the realest, to say the least. Oh my god, thank you! I started making TikToks at the beginning of the pandemic, and I always wonder if anyone followed me the whole time. What do they do with the dead over the long trip? Overboard? Yeah, I would assume so. That's usually kind of how it went. They ain't just drop an acre? I guess, that's what I mean. I don't know. I don't know what their technology was like at the time. Hey, besties, sorry I'm late. I had math. It's totally fine. You are totally fine. But anyway, Squanto helped the settlers forge an alliance with the Wampanoag. I feel like I already forgot how to pronounce it. Look at me being the problematic one. Which was the local tribe. And this alliance endured for more than 50 years and is one of the only examples of harmony between European colonists and Native Americans. So Squanto is definitely in his teaching era because none of these fuckers knew shit about dick. Like, none of them knew how to make anything. They didn't know how to fish, all of that. No way. Overboard, really? Yeah, they usually put dead bodies overboard back then because, like, they don't have the meat. Like, think about now, if you die on a cruise ship, they have, like, a mini morgue. But back then, like, your body was just going to decompose and it would make other people sick. So they would just be like, you're done. Squanto was trying his best and he did it so well. Literally. Wow, Squanto, why is he not more well-known? I could not tell you why he's not more well-known. Let me look up a pic of him. Or not a pic, but a drawing. You know what I'm saying. Squanto. He's listed as an interpreter. This is a drawing of him. Wait, that one's really blurry. Let me find a better one. This is the painting that someone made of him. I don't know how accurate that is. Oh, is this him? Is this an actual picture? Is that possible? I think I heard of him in a children's book in middle school. Yeah, I remember this from Kristen's American Girl doll book. Her bestie died on the trip from Sweden. Oh my god. Honestly, that's so slay of him. Yeah, for real. But it's been quiet since about him. Yeah. Sorry, I heard something weird. But anyway, moving to the first Thanksgiving. Oh, there's a Squanto movie? People finding out about old sea time travel is reminding me of those Dear American Diaries that were like fictional preteen girls. The American Girl ones? I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm very interested. But anyway, the first Thanksgiving. So that's kind of what led up to the first Thanksgiving. And then November 1621, after the first corn harvest proved successful, Governor William Bradford organized a celebratory feast and invited a group of the fledgling colony's Native American allies to join. And then this is what's remembered as the first Thanksgiving. Am I streaming this while I actively work? Yes, I am. You should. You should be streaming this at work. But anyway, this is the first Thanksgiving. So it was a celebration of the first corn harvest because Squanto taught them how to plant the corn, because before that they were just like, it was just kind of like them making that noise from the Mayflower. And the Pilgrims, like, even though so the Pilgrims, the colonists, whatever we want to call them, they fasted for a while before. Like, they came into it starving. Also, my pants are fucked up. But anyway, the festival lasted for 3 days, and they would fast beforehand. Like, they wouldn't eat beforehand to be like, we're going to eat as much as we can, and it's going to be great. So, yeah, the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag having a 3-day feast. No sleep. Bus. Another club. Next place. I love that audio. Look at this. I hemmed these pants when my mom hemmed it, and now it's coming apart. Will we learn about why Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday? I hate that it's not a set date. Yes, kind of. They changed it a couple times, but... Ew, why is this like this? I don't like this. Okay, so no record exists of the Thanksgiving's exact menu. Much of what we know comes from this guy, Edward Winslow, and what he wrote is, "Our harvest being gotten in, our governor sent 4 men fowling, that so we might after a special manner rejoice." Why did they talk like this? Why did they fucking talk like this? We're not going to read this whole thing because this is literally a nightmare. Why are they talking like this? I really am not enjoying it, and they should stop, I think. It's exactly what I think. I think they need to stop talking like that. You're done. You're done. Amongst us, who amongst us doesn't eat all day before Thanksgiving dinner? You don't eat breakfast on Thanksgiving dinner day. I bet my boyfriend's going to ask for breakfast tomorrow. He's a big breakfast guy. It's like, right when he wakes up, he's like, breakfast. Thanksgiving morning is just liquid diet alcohol. But anyway, where was I? As with a little help besides, served the company almost a week, at which time, amongst other recreations, we exercised our arms, many of the Indians coming amongst us, and amongst the rest of their greatest king, Massasoit, with some 90 men whom 3 days we entertained and feasted. So this is the colonist perspective, is they're like, the natives came and then we entertained them and we feasted for 3 days. We're about to talk about the natives' perspective of this same event. And they went out and killed 5 deer, which they brought to the plantation bestowed on our governor. So this is not adding up. You entertained and feasted them, yet they killed 5 deer. Generally, in my experience, if the guest is foraging for food, you're not really providing for them there. That's more of a potluck than you providing a meal. Where was I? Although it be not always so plentiful, as it was this time with us, yet by the goodness of God, we are so far from want that we often wish you partakers of our plenty. So, Friendsgiving minus being friends. That might be the chat of the night. That one might do it. Nailed it. Them taking credit for the group project. No, literally, they're like, we hosted them and we entertained them. They did bring the main dish. We did not have a main dish. All we had was corn. And they did bring the main dish. But we hosted them. We hosted them is the vibes that I'm getting here. Me reading the mainstream history of Thanksgiving as someone who's only interested in a modern American history, I really only like post-World War II. The U.S. has been in its flop era since the beginning. It's just lies. Just everything. Lies, lies, lies. So let's get to the depression of the truth. So that is kind of like the history.com mainstream, what we learn in school. A little more detail than that. I think most school children just learn, like, it was the first harvest, and the natives and the colonists all had held hands and got along, is I think what most people learn. We had a little more detail than that and a little more nuance than that, but now we're going to get into the real fuck shit and the real bullshit of what's going on. So, the first Thanksgiving, as a lot of folks understand it, is basically what we just talked about, but there's a lot of erasure, so we're going to talk about the full story. Did they even have the right to say they hosted it since it wasn't their land to begin with? Yeah, exactly. That's like breaking into someone's house and being like, we're throwing a party. It's very my mom energy, honestly. Sammy No subscribed with Prime. Thank you. Also, Page 6277, thank you for giving out a community subscription. That was very, very nice of you. And for subscribing. I can't believe I missed that a couple minutes ago. And Sydney Moorjohn, I think I already gave you a shout out, but 7 months. Incredible. An icon. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account and give me a subscription and you don't have to pay for it. That would be super dope and nice of you, but don't feel pressure and you don't have to. And I'm still happy you're here even if you're not paying because education should be free. But you know, if you just wanted to throw some cash my way, that's a free way to do it. Well, not free because you'd have to have Amazon Prime, but you get what I'm saying. But anywho, because of this erasure of Native American narratives, a lot of us don't really know what happened, so let's talk about the full story. So there's no evidence that the Wampanoag people were even invited, An account from the time said that 90 members, so again, same number, 90 members of the tribe were present, but it makes no mention of invitations. So some experts believe that these 90 men were an army that the leader sent out because of the sound of gunshots, which makes a lot of sense, because remember in the thing we read, he said we celebrated with our arms. So I could see if they're just like shooting and partying, that this neighboring tribe is like, hey, send an army over there just to see what's up. And then they get there and it's this party, and then they're like, oh, I guess we'll fucking stay, I guess. And then they were like, y'all don't have a main dish? We'll go kill some deer for you. Like, that is, I think, what actually happened. The truth is usually some muddy thing in the middle. Also, if you're a teen and your parents have Prime, you can get Amazon Teen and do it that way. How do I get Amazon Teen? My parents have Prime, and I just use it. Well, what? Right? Isn't this crazy that it's literally just like neighbors beefing over noise? And then it got spun into what we know of it as today. So in their first encounters with the Wampanoag people, the Pilgrims stole the tribe's winter provisions. So this story we've gotten about how they were BFFs, first they robbed them, and then Usa Mekun, I don't know how to say that man's name, I'm sorry. He formed an alliance with the groups later, and the alliance only really existed because these people had gotten like ravaged by European colonizers before, so it was more about survival than anything else, because they were like, okay, like, Squanto's been there. We have other people that have seen y'all. Like, this is not our first fucking rodeo. So they were like, it's gonna be easier to just alliance ourselves with these people and kind of like keep our distance and keep to ourselves and be like, we support you from right here, and then like teach them how to do the corn, teach them that stuff, as opposed to going to war with them because we know that we're gonna lose because we've seen what's happened to everybody else. This is like when your neighbors are having a party and shooting guns in the backyard, and you go to check on them and they invite you to the party and you bring food over. Yeah, that's basically what happened. Like, it was not such a beautiful, harmonious thing like we like to believe. Accusing my friends of being pilgrims when they take my snacks and tops now. But anyway, where was I? They stole the winter provisions, and then it was years later, then later they formed the alliance. It was less about intercultural harmony and more about survival made necessary by the actions of the settlers. Because if you pull up and rob someone, me seeing the settlers stole from the natives, then spun the story of we all held hands vibes. Like, I am so not surprised reading this. Like, when I read this, I was like, yeah, that checks out. That checks out to exactly what I expected. First time catching the stream, Witstormborn, thank you for being here. Love a first time chat. Love a first time catching the stream. Anyway, so the first harvest was then followed. So again, Thanksgiving. Best thing to take to a meal as a dish is Tums. Okay, so Thanksgiving is the first harvest. So the first harvest was followed by deadly conflicts between the colonizers and the native people, including, but not limited to, the Wampanoags. The Europeans repaid their native allies by seizing native land, imprisoning, enslaving, and executing native people. So the story that we have, like, oh, it was harmonious. Like, yeah, it was harmonious when you were getting something out of them. It was harmonious when they were teaching you things and giving you free food, and when you were robbing them. Then it was harmonious. But as soon as you got what you needed, suddenly these people were of no use to you, and now you're going to steal their land and kill them. Following the Thanksgiving celebration by European settlers often marked brutal victories over the native people, like the Pequot Massacre of 1636 or the beheading of the Wampanoag leader in 1676. So again, only 50 years that it was like not murderous, and then they beheaded their leader. So I don't think it's appropriate that our Thanksgiving thing is like, see how we can all get along till you beheaded their leader 50 years later, literally like within a lifetime. The following Thanksgiving celebrations, oh wait, I already read that. So today, the Wampanoag make up two federally recognized tribes, the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe and the Wampanoag tribe of Gay Head, Aquinha. I think that's like an area. Colonists be like, we're besties with the natives. They gave us all this cool stuff. They're like, we robbed them, and they actually had the coolest shit ever, just so you know. And who says white people have no culture? Because we have an entire generation based around this festival that was thrown just for corn. I meant to put this slide earlier, put it in the wrong spot. But the first Thanksgiving was just celebrating that we had successfully grown corn. Aquina is on Martha's Vineyard, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because that's what Quarter Life Crisis was saying. Her family's from Martha's Vineyard, and a lot of these people still live there, and it's like a big Native American community. I'm an APUSH, and we didn't learn about this. We only learned about the Puritans and the Plymouth colonies. That is very lame of the APUSH curriculum. The corn obsession started early, exactly. Also, I don't know who these people are. This is what came up when I looked up Corn Festival. White historians neglecting to tell us that the Wampanoags had a century of contact with Europeans and it was bloody and it involves slave raiding by the Europeans. Like, why is this not discussed? What is a corn festival? It's just a party because we have corn. Like, it's exactly what it sounds like. We're just throwing a party because corn. Because we can, because we have the corn. So let's fucking party, is what it is, really, at the end of the day. I really want to put this back in here. So yeah, that's all a corn festival is white people partying because they have corn. So Pilgrims immediately made it a holiday. They held their second Thanksgiving celebration only 2 years later to mark the end of a long drought. And again, Governor Bradford called for a religious fast. So days of fasting and then having Thanksgiving became an annual occasion across New England. So remember when I was saying they were fasting? It's because they were actually like part of their religious thing is they're like, you have to fast before Thanksgiving. Is corn even that hard to grow? I think anything is hard to grow if you don't know what you're doing. I don't know. I'm not a farmer, so I really am not sure. But anything is hard to grow if you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, the colonists would fast for 3 days before Thanksgiving. So it pretty immediately turned into like a tradition, and it pretty immediately turned into a holiday. During the American Revolution, the Continental Congress designated 1 or more days of Thanksgiving a year, and then in 1789, George Washington issued the first Thanksgiving proclamation by the national government of the United States, where he called upon Americans to express their gratitude for the happy conclusion of the country's war for independence and the successful ratification of the U.S. Constitution. So their Thanksgiving was like, yay, thanks that we're a country we love. So it wasn't even really related to the food thing at first. And then his successors, John Adams and James Madison, also designated days of thanks during their presidency. But it's not like the third or fourth Thursday or whatever it is of each month, of each November is when Thanksgiving is. We're not on that vibe yet, but they're saying it's like a day of giving thanks. Fuck Blue Lives, the colonists are me seeing the Continental Congress designate holidays instead of focusing on building a good government. Because if you have a brand new Congress of a country, also Lena510, thank you for subscribing. If you have a brand new government of a country, why is your first priority the day of thanks? Like, I get it, gratitude's important or whatever, but like, let's focus on building the government maybe. My mom doesn't understand that I can't pause and keeps commenting out loud about the things that you're saying. You're like, Mom, we can't pause this. Tell your mom I said hi. I hope she's doing well. Guess who figured out how to link to Amazon? We love. One of the reasons for the revolution was that the British government didn't allow colonists to cross the Appalachians and steal more land. Of course it was. One thing about the white man in government is he isn't going to work. That's one thing. They are not fucking working. They are not. And then in 1817, New York became the first of several states to officially adopt an annual Thanksgiving Day, but each celebrated it on a different day. So it became a thing to have it, but they still had not picked a day yet. And then the American South really didn't involve themselves with this. Like, people living in the South had no idea what was going on with this. It was more of like a Northeastern thing of where this had actually happened. So it was like kind of a passing down of tradition. Me, every time I see the South being on the right side of history for once, it almost never happens, but when it does, it really hits different. Oh, the sunset is so pretty. That's nice. Me, like, flailing these curtains around. That is so nice. I wish I could show you guys. Oh, I just got really dizzy from bending backwards like that. Woo! But yeah. The South is on the right side of history for once. Loving that for us. Where was Okay, so then Abraham Lincoln heeded the request to make it an act. Wait, where the fuck was I? So, because they were in the middle of war, Lincoln wanted to like heal the wounds of the nation, so he scheduled Thanksgiving for the final Thursday in November, and it was celebrated on that day every year in 1939. So someone asked, why is it always on a Thursday? That's because of ya boy, Abraham Lincoln, decided it should always be on a Thursday. And then Franklin Delano Roosevelt moved it up a week in an attempt to spur retail sales during the Great Depression. So FDR was like, y'all motherfuckers having Thanksgiving a week early because we need people to buy shit. Which, like, he was trying. It was the middle of the Great Depression. He was just trying anything. Like, he was like, it might help, we'll try. Oh, someone told me to stretch. Disorder generate. Me being from the South. Oh, yay, okay, one thing. But anyway, FDR wanted to make it like a week earlier, and people were really not into that at all. It was called Franksgiving, and it was met with passionate opposition. And then in 1941, he signed a bill that said Thanksgiving is going to be the fourth Thursday in November. So that's how we got the rule that we have today, is that it's like the last Thursday or the fourth Thursday or whatever it is. I literally got off and I am in my car driving home listening. Oh my God. Hi, Stokely. But yeah, this is how we got to be always on a Thursday. And here's kind of the path that we took to get there. Bro, the way I set a timer for this stream and I'm still 45 minutes late, that is me as fuck. Damn, we were so close to having Franksgiving. No one. Franklin Delano Roosevelt moving Thanksgiving for retail sales. Like, that's just hilarious to me. A bill. Interesting. It's hilarious to me that, like, they literally just moved a holiday for retail sales. That shows, like, the U.S. cares about money before anything else. Before anything else. Before tradition. Before freedom. Before anything. Money. The freedom to get money is what the government cares about. The government wants to get paid. They want their check. So, let's talk about marketing. This is the part that I think we're going to find a little more interesting, just about, like, kind of the marketing ploys around Thanksgiving and how it came to be and all of that stuff. Also, I hate his little smile. The Mark Zuckerberg little... I hate it. I literally hate it so much. Me, every time I see the Mark Zuckerberg's little smile, he's just so jarring. The U.S. is so ghetto. I'm tired and I hate it here. Okay, so who is the mother of Thanksgiving? This is the lady that Lincoln was like, fine, bitch, we'll fucking have Thanksgiving. I could have put her earlier, but I wanted to keep all the marketing stuff like together, separate from the government stuff. So in 1827, this woman, Sarah Josepha Hale, she was an author. If you know Mary Had a Little Lamb, that is your fucking girl. It's this lady. She launched a campaign to establish Thanksgiving as a national holiday. And for 36 years, she published editorials and sent letters to governors, senators, and presidents. And her nickname was the Mother of Thanksgiving. I could not fucking tell you. I tried to look it up. I couldn't really find an answer as to her motivation. I think she was just really into it and really liked it. Not Mary Had a Little Lamb out here creating Thanksgiving propaganda. That's a lot of dedication for this of all things. That's what I'm saying. Like, why? I'm gonna look it up again and see if I can find it. Okay, Sarah Hale. Motivation. Rest in peace, Sarah Hale. You would have loved the war on Christmas. That was fucking funny. Where's her biopic? It's her biography. Why did Sarah want Thanksgiving? It just, everything I can find says that we can thank her for it. It doesn't say what she wanted. Also, this is her. She looks literally exactly as you would expect. Herstory. It's like, I want to support women in history, but bitches like this make it hard. Like, bitches like this make it hard. Okay. Literally, why did she want this? I'm determined to figure it out now. She was born on a New Hampshire farm, so I bet just like her parents told her about it, and she was just like really into it. She also was very in favor of women's education, so that's cool, I guess. But yeah, this is Sarah Josepha Hale, not this in the gift, the lady but that is the mother of Thanksgiving. Honestly, for the time, she must have been hella bored. This feels like something I would do, where I would just pick a random thing and be like, if you care enough about anything, you can make it happen. She probably just did it to prove a point. Like, I bet what it was is she was probably arguing with a man one day, and she was like, oh, I love Thanksgiving. And he was like, Thanksgiving's stupid. Thanksgiving will never be a holiday. And she's like, you know what? Fuck you. That's what it probably was. Because I cannot find another reason why she gave this much of a fuck about Thanksgiving enough to lobby the whole government into making it a holiday. I mean, people have made weirder national holidays. That's what I mean. Like, nothing wrong with it, I guess, except for the lies. But just why? One day you'll thank me. Stop it. That's very punny. You all are very punny. You guys know what you're doing. I'll tell you that much. So that's kind of how the first marketing of Thanksgiving was that lady. And then real marketing started in the 1920s. Marketing has existed for all of human history, but the 1920s is when marketing really popped the fuck off in the US. And just to give you some context about why marketing popped the fuck off in the 1920s, basically, advances in technology made us produce a lot more stuff. So before the 1920s, companies really only produced things that you needed. They didn't produce like frivolous things that often for regular people. Only rich people had frivolous things. But in the 1920s is when we started to have like a stronger middle class, and people were buying things like toasters and radios and stuff like that. So that's when marketing became a bigger thing, because they had to market all these new products to all of these people. And then also advances in technology with printing, with making copies of things, being able to make flyers and ads and newspapers very quickly. Isn't that the time where those sexist domestic ads started popping up? Yes, all those ads from like the 1920s to like the 1970s. In the 1920s is really when ads started to be a more mainstream part of American life. That's when also like billboards started to become more of a thing, because they started to make highways. And then by the time they made interstates, billboards were a very big fucking thing. Me listening to this on my birthday. Oh, Richard. Everyone say happy birthday to Richard. Everyone here is going to be polite and say happy birthday to Richard. Is this the Industrial Revolution time? Close. So the Industrial Revolution was like the late 1800s. Because if you think about it, the Industrial Revolution happened, and then that's what made people, like, that's what gave us more machines. And then because there was more machines, we hired more factory workers, and then the unions started fighting for better pay. And then in the 1920s, because we had really strong unions, we had a stronger middle class. So, like, this is an effect of the Industrial Revolution, because, like, if it wasn't for machines and mass production, we would have never gotten to mass consumption and would have never gotten to the point where we needed marketing. ZK Butterworth, thank you for subscribing. And thank you, everyone, for saying happy birthday, Richard. We love happy birthday, Richard. So marketing is really what built a lot of the Thanksgiving traditions that like we know and celebrate today. By 1920s, turkey had already become the one and only meat advertised, and the ads would focus on how to prepare and present the perfect bird, and they were the people making the advertisements for turkeys were the companies that make things like roasters, ranges, thermometers, and oven cooking bags. So like the normalization of like turkey is the only thing you eat came from the companies that make products in order to cook a perfect turkey. Because cooking a perfect turkey is a lot of fucking work, and it's really hard, and you need a lot of shit to do it. So the like turkey propaganda was coming from the cooking utensil companies. So the iconic Swift's Premium Turkeys ad focused on the sacredness of the meal by featuring families at prayer, giving thanks before the meal begins. Because if you remember, at the first Thanksgiving, they ate deer. Not turkey. They were eating deer that the natives killed. So the importance of the turkey to the Thanksgiving celebration dominates, helping perpetuate the Thanksgiving turkey tradition. So the turkey thing did not come from any person actually eating a turkey. It just came from the marketing around turkeys. So here is one of the turkey ads. Aladdin cooking utensils. This is for an aluminum double roaster. And then it has like other uses for it and just information about it. So you can see turkey, 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 turkey. Richard Paz, thank y'all, means a lot. Of course, we want the whole community to feel loved and sacred on their birthday. That's so cursed, right? Isn't it? I'm not into it. So, meanwhile, early ads for the Eat More Cranberry Company positioned their whole cranberries as the perfect complement to any and all Thanksgiving meat dishes, and this brand dominated until the 1930s when Ocean Spray entered the conversation with their gelatin canned cranberry sauce. So, because it was the Great Depression and people could not afford to get fresh cranberries and make these little fucking sauces, Ocean Spray was like, we got that bullshit in a can. It's a couple cents. Pull right up. Because people couldn't afford the fresh one. Naming a food Eat More is so smart. Too bad they folded. They did not get with the times of the Great Depression. Ads for both the brands implied that cranberry sauce had been around since the first Thanksgiving, which is highly unlikely. However, the brand positioning war successfully promoted cranberry sauce as the natural condiment for Thanksgiving turkey, and Ocean Spray would triumph to this day, which promotes whole cranberries and the canned gelatin. Controversial opinion, do not like cranberry sauce. I think cranberries are meant for vodka, not for food. That's the stance that I have on it. Oh wow, the way none of this is related to any culinary culture but just marketing. No, literally, it's just marketing. I love a canned cranberry. It's my most embarrassing trait. Don't be embarrassed about who you are. Be embarrassed. This is a safe place. Me when I lie. The way this is how Thanksgiving traditions evolved is so devastatingly on brand. I make fresh cranberry sauce, but the cranberries in the can still slay. My sister makes the fresh sauce. She really likes it. I always feel bad I don't eat it, but I literally don't like it. Okay, where was I? Considered by many to be the quintessential Thanksgiving dessert, pumpkin pie was also not present at the first Thanksgiving meal, because obviously they didn't have like butter and sugar and all that shit. So, and as early as 1925, a range of brands, for example, Borden's, Snowdrift, Miss Smith's, and Libby's, have competed fiercely to connect pumpkin pie to the season, the holiday, and the meal. It is a rivalry that continues to this day. This one, it makes sense to me, because even though you didn't have pumpkin at the first Thanksgiving, pumpkin harvest is around this time of year. So it makes sense that pumpkin pie would naturally be the standout, because like, if you're thinking back to before we had all these preservatives, this would be one of the few times a year that you could eat a pumpkin pie. So I get why people did that. I also don't love pie. I don't love Thanksgiving food. Really, the only pie that I like is key lime pie. I fucking love a key lime pie. I will eat up a key lime pie any day of the fucking week. Ew, don't email me. I hate when people email me. If you email me to my work email, we're not on good terms. I know that that's my whole job is to answer your emails, but I hate emails. I'm going to get to work on Monday, and this clip is going to be in HR. They're going to be like, is this you saying you hate when people email you at work? And I'm going to be like, that is literally not me. Just gaslight them into thinking it's not me. Not they trying to kick the only seasonal food off. I'm still shocked when my work emails me. Like, how am I surprised? I like chocolate pudding pie, but I'm not a fan of pie otherwise. I can deal with a chocolate pudding pie. One time I had this pie, it was like a key lime pie, but instead of the goo being key lime, it was mango. That shit was good. That was very, very good. I don't like pie crust at all, and people think I'm crazy. Who is that? Not me. Pie crust? Have you guys had an Oreo pie crust? I love an Oreo cheesecake with the Oreo crust. That shit is good. They knew what they were doing when they made that recipe. Okay, anyway, here's the Eat More Cranberries. You can see, like, this was the ad for how to make it with the actual cranberries. Seems very labor intensive. This is not something I think I would do. This is not something I would partake in, personally. Here, can I make that bigger? No, it's the same size for you all. Sorry. Sweet potato, pecan pie, lime pie, apple pumpkin pie. Yum. You're into pie. Pie filling described as goo. It is goo! Squad, I love today's notes. It's more pretty over content, maybe. I'm so excited for your notes. We have not seen them in a minute, and I'm fucking excited. Okay. Me seeing yet another aspect of American culture just traces back to commercials. Like, literally every time. Every time. It's just commercials. Every time. That's all. So, I want to talk about some flop moments in the Thanksgiving marketing era. So, this is a Welch's ad from the 1960s. This is made of grapes. So, they were like, oh, you have this cranberry sauce. Try this grape Jell-O sauce. Which, like, you can't just copy someone else's thing. You can't just be like, oh, your thing, we're going to do a similar thing, and it'll work out the same. It will not. It will not. So Thanksgiving, they also wanted Thanksgiving meal to include grape juice in the other part of it was grape juice. I have a picture of that on another slide. And then Diamond marketed their walnuts as an accessory to dress up Thanksgiving dinner. But despite this, no one really picked up on it, and no one drinks grape juice or eats Diamond walnuts with their Thanksgiving dinner today, because that would be gross. I know I've only been here for 10 minutes, but I feel like this ad era sums up the vibes. No, it really does. The chicken or the egg, but it's American culture and American media. Another top contender for chat of the night. Really good one. Only sparkling grape juice, thank you. I fucking love a sparkling grape juice. Food from the 50s and 60s needs to be scrubbed from the face of the earth. I don't care if it's history. You're like, burn it down. I don't care that it's history. Americans to the companies trying to market canned cherry and almonds as Thanksgiving food. Or not almonds, walnuts, my dumbass. But I found this ad, which is for hot Dr. Pepper. So literally, a good cup of cheer. That's Dr. Pepper served hot. What? What are you talking about? The Dr. Pepper served hot. It's deliciously different, easy to prepare. Just heat Dr. Pepper or Diet Dr. Pepper in a saucepan until steaming hot. Then pour over a thin slice of lemon. If you're dreaming of happy holidays, join the crowd and enjoy a hot Dr. Pepper. A hot Dr. Pepper. I want to try this. I should have made this for the stream tonight. I will say I heard some call Dr. Pepper wintergreen flavored. Dr. Pepper, no, they're talking about what's it called? It's a different thing. It's not Dr. Pepper. It's a different kind of soda. Dr. Pepper's like technical flavor is spicy cherry. Is I think like it wasn't Mr. Pibb, because Mr. Pibb is the same as Dr. Pepper. And I like both of them. Like a lot of people that are like, oh, I won't do Pepsi or I won't do Coke. I only do this brand. To me, Dr. Pepper is my preference, but if I say, do you have Dr. Pepper, and you say we have Mr. Pibb, makes no difference to me. Like, I wouldn't even say Dr. Pepper is my preference. I just go to it because it's easier to find, but to me, they taste a little different, but they're both really good, so I really don't care. Kind of root beery. They said, don't worry, you can do regular or diet Dr. Pepper. Yes, root beer is wintergreen. That's what it was, root beer. It's root beer that people are saying is wintergreen. Yes, no, not Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, like I said, it's more of a spicy cherry flavor than a wintergreen. I have mixed feelings about peppermint and things. Lately, I've been going a little too hard on the peppermint. Like, I've been having peppermint Starbucks, like, every single fucking day, and I'm kind of tired of it now. And then I have those peppermint fudge patty things. It's kind of like a chocolate-dipped Oreo York patty from Aldi. They're so good, but I've just been eating so much of them, I'm kind of tired of it. Is Dr. Pepper similar to root beer? Not really. It kind of looks the same, and they're both soda, but they're not really a similar taste. I don't know how to describe it. I would say Dr. Pepper spicy cherry is the best way to describe it. It's like a very dynamic flavor. There's a lot going on in Dr. Pepper. Like I'm the type of person that I put tons of stuff on my food. I'll put hot sauce, I'll put lime juice, I'll put sour cream. Like, I put tons of sauces and spicy and flavors and extra on my food. Like, I like a lot of flavors at one time. So if you're that way, you'll probably like Dr. Pepper. My boyfriend is more of he likes like a straightforward flavor. Like, he doesn't like too much to be going on at one time, so he doesn't like it. It modeled after the way a soda fountain smells. I could not describe Dr. Pepper if I tried. Dr. Pepper to me tastes like spicy plums or something, old people fruit vibes. I'll get one and try it extreme and let you know. Thank you. That's an honor that you're going to try it. The pharmacist who invented Dr. Pepper wanted it to be an artificial flavor that doesn't exist, but spicy cherry is the best way to describe it. Because if you look on the back, Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb, like I said, very similar. And if you look on the back of a Mr. Pibb, it says spicy cherry flavored soda. So that's kind of the best way I could describe it, I guess. But anyway, hot Dr. Pepper was the fucking Thanksgiving holiday idea. Here's another insane Thanksgiving ad. Winston's down-home taste. So real, so rich, so good. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. So this is the Thanksgiving pairing, is this cigarette. You can see they're here with their cigarette, with their Thanksgiving dinner. Honestly, maybe we should bring this era back. Like, look how happy this family is together, bonding over cigarettes. Maybe this is what America needs during this trying time. Is cigarettes at Thanksgiving. It's giving Mad Men, right? I told you these ads are fucking crazy. A cigarette and a hot Dr. Pepper. One day, I'm just gonna be an unhinged old woman smoking and drinking hot Dr. Pepper like it's tea. Like, my grandkids are gonna be like, oh, Grandma, tell us about the election of 2016. And I'm gonna be there with my fucking Dr. Pepper in my teacup and be like, come here. Come here. It's not Thanksgiving without a severe nicotine addiction. When I go to a restaurant and order Dr. Pepper, if they don't have any, they offer a cherry Coke. That makes much more sense now. That's my other go-to. Like, if I really, really want soda, like I'm just fiending for a soda and I cannot get my hands on a Dr. Pepper, I'll go cherry Coke. Me at the dinner table, this cigarette tastes delicious, Aunt Deborah. The so-called good old days. New ad, keep off Thanksgiving weight with holiday cigarettes. They used to tell pregnant mothers to smoke cigarettes so they didn't gain too much weight. And that is why I don't trust doctors. Like, not to be, like, a conspiracy theorist, but every time a doctor tells me something, I'm like, I know my body. I'll be the final decider here. And usually I listen to them. But sometimes they say things that I'm like, that's not adding up to me. I'm vaccinated, though. Don't think that you're following that type of person. Pregnant women. I know, right? Wait, where is this? Disney World Properties doesn't serve Dr. Pepper, and I hate it. Yeah, there's nowhere around my work that serves Dr. Pepper. I work in, like, a very, like, touristy shopping area, so there's lots of restaurants, and none of them have Dr. Pepper, because I just want to be able to walk out of the office and go get a Dr. Pepper. There's a CVS that's like a 10-minute walk away, and I can get it there, but it's not the same as the fountain. This is why boomers are the way that they are. Doctors hate a fat woman more than anything. Nah, for real. Dr. Pepper's the only one you trust. It's the only one that's earned my trust. Dr. Pepper's the only one that deserves it. And then here is an ad for liquor. So, Thanksgiving 1942. America makes the best of everything. This is Shenley Royal Reserve. The taste it takes 4 states to make. I don't even know what kind of liquor this is. As a Texan, it's so easy for me to access Dr. Pepper. So whenever I'm at work drinking my Dr. Pepper, people ask if I'm from Texas. Is that a fighter plane in the background? Yeah, this is from World War II. This is during World War II, so this is a man being at war, I guess. Okay, liquor makes sense, right? And then here's another one. Enjoy your Thanksgivings. Enjoy your Thanksgivings 1940 to 50. Statistics give you 25 to 30 more Thanksgiving than if you had been born a pilgrim father or a revolutionary hero. Plan now to enjoy them all in the precious years in between. Exercise sensibly, watch what you eat, be moderate, and if you drink, choose a whiskey that agrees with you. This is literally giving so many mixed messages. It's like, you're gonna fucking die, be healthy, buy this whiskey. Like, that's the message of this ad, I guess. Is Dr. Pepper sponsoring this stream? I fucking wish. I would love a Dr. Pepper sponsorship. Stop it, is that an alcohol ad? Yes, this is an ad for Seagram's Crown blended whiskeys, whatever the fuck that means. So yeah, here's this man smelling his turkey with his whiskey. The most wholesome form of whiskey. Guys, don't worry. The whiskey is wholesome. Everything's fine. The whiskey is wholesome. Me seeing that Americans have been getting fucked up at Thanksgiving for generations. How do I know which whiskey agrees with me? That's what I'm wondering. They don't even give you, like, a guide on how that works. How do you know what agrees with you? I guess if it doesn't give give you a hangover, it agrees with you. So these are the good old days that the boomers are talking about, unhinged and coked up. The last thing my family needs at Thanksgiving is alcohol. Ain't that the truth? My family doesn't really drink like that. I do. But I'll be in that. New holiday cocktail, whiskey spiked hot Dr. Pepper. The fucking hangover you would get from that. I'm always worried about the wholesomeness of my whiskey. FDA wear. OMG, this is proof that everyone has hated their relatives for generations. No, that's 100% true. That's 1,000% true. People have hated their relatives for generations. Hot Dr. Pepper with some Seagrams. Yummy. And then, in the mid-1990s, Martha Stewart Living introduced the deep-fried turkey. And apparently, according to the National Fire Protection Association, deep-fried turkeys destroy over 900 homes, cause $15 million in property damage, injure 6 people, and kill 5 people every year. Because if you're deep-frying a turkey, it can explode really easily because you're putting a very large cold object into a very hot object. So it could explode if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Is this why she was in jail? I think I'm going to make this picture the thumbnail. This picture of Martha with the flames. Martha's impact. Thank God Martha's here. There's a Skechers commercial where Martha Stewart puts sneakers on a horse. What the fuck? I love Martha Stewart, but she's terrifying. Please, this is an iconic image. Plus the oil boils over easy with the water and then flames up. Yeah, it's just like a lot of elements going on. Gotta go, but thanks for doing a stream today. Of course, have a good night. My dad was a firefighter and people do it so wrong. I was about to say, like, you can do it and it can be perfectly safe, but you need to know what the fuck you're doing and have the correct supplies. Like, you cannot just deep fry a turkey. Like, you can't wake up and be like, I'm gonna deep fry a turkey today. Like, you need to know what the fuck you're doing. Could you imagine your Thanksgiving turkey exploding? This is what the Pilgrims saw when they died after fucking over the Native American people. They used to put fully frozen girlies in hot-ass small fryers under patios. Martha killed more people than Snoop Dogg, but people say he's the weird one of the duo. Oh my god. My dad did it once and almost burned down the garage, and my mom won't let him fry another turkey. I'm on your mom's side. Because what the fuck? You're not going to burn down my garage? What is this? I love the picture. That's definitely going to be the thumbnail. I don't think I've ever had a deep-fried turkey. Is it that good? This is my theory on deep-fried turkeys, is that I don't know if they're that much better, but I think people do it just to say that they've did it and to prove a point to themselves that they deep-fried a turkey. Like, because it's really difficult and a lot of people light their house on fire, I think people do it to be like, I fried a turkey. You know, like, I think it's like the bragging rights thing. Hold on, I have a really long message. That's lovely. Okay. What in the Christmas vacation? They're good, but not worth burning down your home. I choose a home to a fried bird. Yeah, for real. Okay, where was I? This is a Thanksgiving podcast. Yeah, I don't really know what that message was. We're just going to move on. I didn't read the whole thing, but it was really long and sounded unrelated, so. Okay, so you didn't think I fucking forgot about the Macy's parade. We're absolutely going to talk about the Macy's parade. I wanted to give it its own little section here at the end. This is a Wendy. Hate when internet trolls screw up fun times. Whatever, it happens. Okay, so as the United States prospered in the Roaring 20s, so did New York's iconic department store, Macy's. So again, remember when I was saying that Thanksgiving marketing popped off in the 20s because marketing in general popped off in the 20s. This is related to that. So Macy's went public and started to acquire competitors and open up regional locations. So their flagship store in Manhattan did such brisk business that it expanded to cover an entire city block stretching from Broadway to 7th Ave. So that's, if you know New York, which I really don't, but I looked it up, that's a fucking big-ass store. I love this parade. I don't partake in the Macy's parade, and my friends were appalled. Some years I've watched it, and some years I haven't. It kind of depends when I wake up. Please tell me you have parade float fails as a part of this. Oh, I should have. Oh, well. I didn't. Sorry. We're going to look at some floats, though. We're going to look at the terrifying floats from back in the day, because they're literally nightmare fuel. They're so fucking weird and scary. So anyway, to showcase the opening of the world's largest store and its 1 million square feet of retail space at the start of the holiday shopping season, Macy's decided to throw New York a parade on Thanksgiving morning. So that's where the Macy's parade started. In spite of its timing, it was not about Thanksgiving, but about Christmas. So this is when, like, really, if you think about it, the whole decorating for Christmas before Thanksgiving, this is when it started. Because Macy's was like, bitch, it's the fucking Christmas season. Let's spend your money to celebrate their new store. Tell me why I have to get to work tomorrow through the Macy's parade. Bruh. That sucks. I recently learned about when Barney deflated in 97. We'll look up the float fails. I'm actually really eager to do that, and we got through this pretty fast. But anyway, Macy's hoped its Christmas parade would whet the appetites of consumers for a holiday shopping feast. So that was the whole goal here. So I had to start off with this one. Because what the fuck? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What are you doing? What is this? Here's a terrifying float. What is that? How scary they are. I told you. They're so creepy. I hate them so much. Let me open a new window so that I can find the fails for a second. Jump scare. No, for fucking real. They're terrifying. And then here's this one. These are not all from the first parade. This one, number 1, with the giant nose that looks like what we know it looks like. This is from the first one, but these are from like the first couple years. So they're all from like the 30s, 40s at that era. Our country is literally just all about money. Literally, oh god, that's a penis. Who the fuck gave them helium and let them do this? I don't know. And then here's this alligator one. This one's kind of cute. I don't hate this one. I really don't. Okay, James. Have they ever done a bee movie balloon? I don't know. I kind of fuck with the alligator, right? The alligator kind of goes hard. I fuck the alligator. Here's another one. Tin Man. Look at his lips. He's kind of serving. And then here is them blowing up one of the things, like getting it ready to go. The gator's nice, but everything else scares me greatly. The alligator looks lost, and I get him. Not tag yourself, I'm the Tin Man. Not a clown. Go off, Tin Man. Oh, this is great. Where am I? Is this a good spot to do the thing? Where was I? I'll do the parade fails all the way at the end. That one's best. Why does this Tin Man look like 3D rendered on a computer and then photoshopped in? Maybe he is. Maybe I'm spreading fake news is what's happening here. But the thing that I find interesting is that Macy's was not even the first it girl. Macy's was not the first parade. So the idea of a store-sponsored Thanksgiving parade did not originate with Macy's, but with Philadelphia's... there's a bug. Gimbel's Brothers department store, which staged a Thanksgiving procession in 1920 with 50 people, 15 cars, and a fireman dressed as Santa Claus who ushered in the shopping season. So, like Macy's, J.L. Hudson's department store in Detroit also planned a similar event in 1924. So, they really were not the first ones. They stole this idea. They said, that shit looked like it worked. Let's do that, but do it way bigger, and everyone will think that it was our idea. In New York, the only Thanksgiving parade that had previously passed through the streets was a peculiar tradition of children painting their faces and donning tattered clothes to masquerade as ragamuffins who asked anything for Thanksgiving as they went door to door asking for pennies, apples, and pieces of candy. Let me show you the pics. Look at them. I'm going to look it up on a bigger screen so you can see it. The poverty cosplay. Halloween meets Thanksgiving. No, literally. Thanksgiving ragamuffins. Look how creepy they are. Look at them. What is this? What is this? I don't like this. Like, it's, what? Right? Keep those kids at home. put us back inside. Isn't this weird? Isn't that the weirdest thing? This was like the most unexpected. Is this where the term ragamuffin came from? I don't think so. I think it was like ragamuffin just means like you look kind of fucked up. So they were like, we're going to dress like ragamuffins. Like, I think they were using the term. I don't think they came up with it. Trick-or-treating for leftovers would be a vibe. They don't even look like kids, right? This literally looks fake. Like, it's a giving horror movie. And I'm not into it. Like, what is this? This looks offensive. I don't know if this is offensive, but it looks it. Like, look up mummers if you would rather be further disturbed. Ugh, why is this country so strange? You guys just don't know a good ragamuffin when you see one. Free-range kids were just doing anything. People didn't watch their kids back then. People were just like, my kids are whatever. My kids are where they are. Like, I don't know what to tell you. What is the relation to Thanksgiving? Are they okay? I don't know. They would literally just dress up and go around to people's doors and be like, Thanksgiving? It feels offensive, right? Like, this has to be offending somebody. This cannot just be, like, politically correct. There's no way that this is politically correct. It cannot be. Lead poisoning vibes for real. Yeah, and the parents were, like, on their fucking cigarettes and whiskey, and they were like, yeah, whatever, go ask for food from the neighbors. I don't want to fucking deal with you. They never should have outlawed child labor. American Horror Story. No, it's giving American Horror Story, and I don't like it. Okay, so let's play the motherfucking game while I look up Sprayed Float fails. We're not going to play sound. They don't have a Thanksgiving version, which is kind of annoying. Maybe they cut some staff over at Nearpod. What one do we want to do? They just need a hot Dr. Pepper. Thanks or giving instead of trick or treat. Why is white culture just racism and offensive marketing? And corn festivals. Put some respect. But anyway, which game do we want to do? Let's do the carnival one because of those creepy children. Pretending your kids are poor on Thanksgiving in the 1920s definitely has a sinister background, right? I was like, this could be a whole other topic we dive into at another time, but I know that this could not be good. Okay, let me send you the link. Pick your little people. So, go to this website, enter this code, and it'll put you in the game. Or, I can just send you this, and it'll open it in a new tab. I sent the link as well. Also, fun fact, so my boss is pregnant and we had to host a virtual baby shower for her. And if you've ever hosted a virtual party, it's just like kind of awkward. Like it's just weird to do it. But our team works all across the state of Florida. So we can't just have everybody fucking drive hours and hours for a baby shower. So I was the host of the virtual baby shower because they were like, oh, you're so fun and you're good with like tech with the games and stuff, so they had me do it, and I was like, y'all don't even know, like this is my whole shit, is hosting virtual shit. They don't even know, but they had me do it and everyone loved it, and my boss was like, you should start a podcast, you're really, really good at this. And I was like, But anyway, we played Nearpod for her virtual baby shower. We did celebrity babies, so it was a picture of a celebrity couple, and then you had to guess which baby was theirs. It was really fun. And all the wrong answers, like the wrong choices, were either other celebrities' babies or baby pictures of the company staff. I asked a couple people for their baby pictures. Oh, speaking of the podcast, love the most recent pod episode. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, I'll give you a couple more seconds to join the game. Oh wait, I'm gonna find like a YouTube video. Oh, my avatar looking real ragamuffin. Okay, a video that's the top Thanksgiving fails, so we'll look at that next. But I did not vet it.
It's not quite like Thanksgiving.
No!
Until you have...
Stop playing. Okay, so let's play the game now. There's 26 people here. I'm just hitting start. What did we learn about today? You better get it right. Also, why did my fan turn off? It was on earlier. People who need to give you money. Nearpod, Chili's, and Dr. Pepper. And everyone I've ever met. I'm a Capricorn, so it's not my fault that I'm capitalistic. Oh, I have a new idea for a business endeavor. I want to tell you guys about my new business endeavor idea. So I was thinking about how, like, being a parent of a teenager is really difficult because, like, you're really busy and then, like, they hate you and it's just, like, a difficult time, especially, like, college applications. Like, helping your kid do college applications is fucking terrible. So I'm thinking about starting, like, a little side hustle business where people can hire me to do that for their child. So I'm making a bunch of stuff of, like, how to keep track of your assignments, where, like, it's a little piece of paper, like a Google Doc, where it has, like, current due dates, what's going on next week, current grades, like, to-do lists, stuff like that, where you can sit with your kid and, like, help them with it and do that once a week with them. So you're, like, you're on top of their work and they're on top of their work. Or you can hire me and I'll do that on Google Meet with your kid if you don't have time, or if you and your kid fight about it. Because I think when parents help their own kids with schoolwork, it, like, gets into this weird dynamic of fighting because they're bringing in, like, so many emotions. Because, like, the parents are frustrated, the kids are frustrated. Like, it's just too emotionally charged that nothing productive happens. So I feel like sometimes it's better to get it from an outside source. And then the other aspect of that idea is, aside from just, like, ongoing academic, like, coaching and support, the college application process. So I'm working on a Google Sheet right now where, like, it's multiple Google Sheets and there's one for, like, the searching where to apply to, the application process, the hearing back process, and then the selection process. So the application process is the most important part. So I'm making a sheet to keep track of, like, what each school requires. Because I remember I missed applying to a school because you had to turn in your packet with all your reference letters and all of that shit 2 weeks before the application was due. And I didn't realize that, so I never got to apply. So I kind of want to be like that person for parents and kids, where you do, like, a once a week or twice a month check-in or something. Who designated Thanksgiving as a holiday for the first one? Not as the final one. Continental Congress. Remember, because FDR tried to change it. He didn't make the first one. But anyway, so people can hire me to do that with their kid and, like, be that support. Because I think the parents need a lot of support and the kids need a lot of support. Because now that we have the internet, even if a parent went to college, they're usually not equipped to guide their kid through the process, because the process looks so different now than it did years ago. So I kind of want to offer that as, like, a coaching service for people. I don't know if people would pay for that. How am I so late? Because we were here early. There's not enough support in high schools. It's a super valuable service. Yeah, I think it would be cool. We shall see. We shall see where this life takes me. You know? Nice job. What is the best Thanksgiving food ad we looked at today? I would have loved to have that support when I applied to college. Because I think, like, when you're applying to college, like, your parents are bad at helping you because they're bringing in their anxiety, their ego, their hopes and dreams for you. Like, they're bringing all of that into the conversation. And then you as a kid are bringing in, like, your fears and your anxiety about moving on and your anxiety about the future and not knowing what the right thing to do is and, like, all of that. So I think it's just, like, you're setting it up for it to be a bad dynamic between the parents and the kids. And I feel like so many families would benefit from having someone who's just a neutral party that's viewing it as, like, a to-do list of, like, let's get organized, let's figure out what needs to get done, let's make a plan for who is doing what, who is submitting it, when it's getting submitted. Like, someone who's looking at it like a project and not so, like, deep and emotional, I think would just, like, helps. I think it's a relatively common service. Yeah, especially on the college app part. Okay, nice job. Apple Pie, Drama Queen, Laurel, Turducken. Very funny. Alana, Lena, back better than ever. Lemur, Banana, Blue, Honey, Drinker, Paige, Laura, and then I'll scroll through everybody else. Nice job, nice job. Okay, before we do notes and all that fun stuff, let's look at the Thanksgiving Day parade fails. Hopefully this video doesn't get in trouble for copyright, but we will see. My high school had a college center that had a sweet lady that helped out with all that jazz. Yeah, like that's kind of what I want to do, but on a more like, obviously if you're paying me by the hour, like, so the spreadsheet that I'm talking about, like if someone hired me, I would be the one filling that in, and then every week being like, here's where we are, here's what's going on. Okay.
Football blaring in the background. Grandma's delicious.
Okay.
TJ.
Aww. The person cheering. Superman deflated.
The man of steel himself. The slightly injured Superman. All right.
The man made of steel.
Okay, he's a pretty strong guy. Actually, if he were made of steel at 104 feet in length and 35 feet wide, I don't think you'd find even the bravest of Macy's volunteers willing to walk underneath him. Fortunately, he has chosen helium as his Thanksgiving breakfast, and his basic weight is just about 550 pounds. So this morning,
I like how the news is just not turning the camera away. This poor newscaster.
He's doing his best on one wing, and I think we should pay tribute to him.
He's doing his best. The death of Barney is windy. You hear it. I'm also doing my best. Dude. Giving the kids nightmares. I love Barney. The fucking volunteers trying to hold. Oh my god, the screen. This is the one. I remember watching this as a kid. The people trying to hold it down. Isn't this Macy's employees? Holy shit, the way he just fucking ripped open. Oh my god. The screams. Holy shit, those boys. This shouldn't be as hilarious as it is. I like how the chat is like, oh my god, this is terrible. And I'm like literally crying, laughing. The cheering in this is killing me. Thank you to whoever suggested we do this. This is hilarious. And shout out to Found This for this video. Thank you, sir. I know at the beginning I skipped through you and said I didn't care. Sorry about that. I regret it. The people stomping on it. They wanted it to not fly away. They're trying their best. So I have actually been to the Macy's Day Parade. I went when I was 12. My mom had to be in New York for work for like the Monday and Tuesday, so we all just came and spent Thanksgiving in New York, and I remember how big the floats were, and they were like a lot bigger than I thought they were. Nutcracker ain't even trying. I remember my mom was confused because at the Thanksgiving Day Parade, Float Rider was there, and I was so excited to see him, and she was like, who the fuck is that? I still would be excited to see Flow Rider.
Just before 10:30, a first-time balloon, the 64-foot-tall Sonic the Hedgehog, was swept into a street lamp at 58th and Broadway and punctured. As the balloon began deflating, it pulled the lamp.
This is terrible at being. This guy is terrible at being a balloon.
Injured a man and
being one of the people to walk the balloon sounds so stressful. No, for real. It does sound stressful. Apparently, like I think it's Macy's employees, and they like want to do it.
It smacked this fellow in the back. Fell right into the crowd. Yep.
The man was taken to Roosevelt Hospital with a shoulder injury and has been listed in satisfactory condition. A little girl was treated at the scene.
The eyewitness interview.
As the balloon made its debut to the crowds of adoring video game fans, the balloon captain said the wind was causing problems.
Not the balloon captain. It's a little more difficult than usual. That man is me at every job I've ever had.
The balloon had only traveled a couple of blocks when it was caught in this exclusive amateur videotape. High winds carrying it right into a lamppost at 72nd Street.
The way it broke the lamp. Oh my god, I'm like, this event is a health hazard.
A large section of the light, which then fell into a crowd of people standing on the sidewalk.
Why are we still doing this? This feels dangerous. Dr. Seuss's revenge. Dr. Seuss was a racist. I was about to say fun fact, but that's not a fun fact. That's a sad fact. It hit me on my foot. Sue. Literally sue the city, Tracy. Get your bag. Why do we keep doing?
One woman is in serious condition. Mayor Giuliani met with the families of
Cat, this is like literally such a exclusive amateur video.
It turns out.
A statement released by Macy said, "We are especially concerned about the two people that are still being held in the hospital."
Yeah, I would know.
High winds had posed problems for the handlers from the start, and parade officials were watching it.
Been a concern for hours, but we are prepared. We have a special plan for flying.
After the accident, Macy's official said the decision was made that we could safely display the balloons in the parade if they
This
were
is
held
crazy.
close to the ground.
We'll see what happened here.
No, for sure, Macy's. I'm sure you're concerned. Imagine if that lamppost fell on your hell.
Videos makes me think twice. Being outside in that cold, the Macy Day parade.
Thanks to this guy. Great video, sir. We loved it. Oh, Lena's notes. I saw you said you posted them. Oh my god, they're so cute. Here, let me open it in a new tab. Hold on. Look how freaking cute the notes are. Everyone clap for Lena. Thank you for the notes, Lena. They're very cute and very gorgeous, and we love them, and they're very Thanksgiving-y. Aw, I love it. Okay, let me X out of that video and get back here. Let me get that. Thanks for the lesson. Making hot Dr. Pepper new tradition. I'm boiling McDonald's Sprites. Ocean Spray is legit an awesome company. They're a farmer-owned co-op. I did not know that. I didn't know if they were good or evil or what. Almost let me like. Thank you all so much for coming. I hope you all have a lovely, relaxing time with people that love you. I'm so glad it worked out to stream tonight against all odds, against fucking Frontier delaying my flight, against Atlanta traffic to get out to the middle of nowhere where I am. But do you guys want to see my parents' house? It's so pretty. My mom would be really proud if she knew I was showing you. See, this is a guest room. I don't know if you can see. I took these pictures. This is my photography. That's my art. Back when I used to do art. I used to do art. I used to be like an artsy girl. But thank you so much for coming. This is the highlight of my week. Every single week. Was so glad I got to spend a little bit of my Thanksgiving break with you all. I hope that you have a relaxing evening, relaxing rest of your night. And yeah, peace and love and blessings. And we stan Lena. Thank you, Lena, for the notes as always. Love you so much. TTYL. Bye.